Welcome back to another episode of Better Marriage Daily, where we talk about loving each other in spite of each other. I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
Yes, indeed. We're here for another episode. This is episode 13.
13. Wow.
Man.
12 are already in the can.
12 in the can. So look, we just had somebody here talking with us, and man, where's that coming from? And I know you're not supposed to cough in your hand, but I'm not sick.
In your home.
And I'm home. And I just blew it on her, so it's all good. So look. Am I as foul?
Yeah, because you know how I am.
I do.
You know how I am.
I do know how you are. So look, so somebody came here and was talking about getting married.
Mm. Yeah.
And you want to tell them some of the advice we gave them? Just the whole thing, but then there's one specific. Look, okay, we're trying to be better and more organized.
Right.
So we're going to talk today about if you're thinking about getting married, if you're thinking about it,
yeah,
what to do about the ceremony.
Right.
And we'll leave it at that until we get into it. So now, what
exactly.
What's the advice? What advice did we give this morning?
The advice that we gave them was, if it is something that timing is an issue.
Wait. You just be jumping in.
Did you ask me?
You got to set it up.
Oh,
you acting like they were there.
I mean, well, the person came and wanted our advice, and our advice was
advice on what?
Advice on getting married or living together. So it was those two things: getting married. Well, first living together, and or getting married. And we listened to everything that the person had to say, and then Sean gave what? Did you or you pointed at me?
You know what I did? I pointed at you.
Yeah, he pointed directly at me. And my advice was, first of all, I said, the way that I feel and the way that I live my life, I said I would not do the living together thing. And I said if you really care about the person, if you love the person, and you believe that this is the one, my advice would be that you get married, if that is what you think you should do, if you think that she is your person. And I said with living together, I said, first of all, you're not legally married. I said, secondly, I said, because I'm a woman, I said, I really have strong feelings about it, because things get really, really complicated. And if you really care about this person, getting married would be the best route instead of living together. I said, I've never wanted to live with anybody. I think that you should be married, if you're going to live together. But that's just me.
And why though? You gave the whys. You're skipping over the whys.
And because I am, because I am a woman. Yeah, because I am a woman. I said I would never want I would never want a woman to go and live with someone because she thinks that is a better way to save money, a better way to have someone take some of the responsibility off of her. I said, I just wouldn't do it. I just would not.
Can't be a money thing.
It cannot be a money thing. Because you might as well stay on your own. And if you're going to, because sometimes you'll do that and move in with someone, and it still is a struggle, even more of a struggle, because you've made this decision.
Doubled everything.
That's right. You made this decision in haste, and because you felt like you were in a crunch or in a corner, and then you did this and you didn't think it through. So I would never advise it, especially for a woman, because I've been a single woman, a single parent, and all of that. I wouldn't do it. I said, that's for me. I'm a different kind of person, and I just wouldn't suggest that, because I feel like down the road, that could lead to even more of an issue.
Yeah. And and also if you've already moved in with each other and you're listening to this podcast,
Right.
all is not lost. You just really
It's
have
not.
you have to have hard conversations. You have to have really hard conversations. If you've been living with each other for a while, that you know who the person you're living with. You know them
Right.
by now.
Mm-hmm.
At least you should know them by now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's so special about that? That even though you think you know them after you've been living with them, when you get married, it still will change.
It will change. Yeah.
It will still change because now you've gone before God and country and said, "Hey, this is my person."
Yeah.
And anything that was very
You're in
small,
covenant now.
you're in covenant now. So anything that's really small,
Magnifies.
magnify. Like them going,
Yeah, smacking while they eat little things, but they become big things. And I said that
All of
today
y'all
too. I
dears.
was like, I said little things. And when you're living together, you still have the option to leave. But when you're married, it's not that much, it still can be an option for some people, but you are married, you are legally married, and so it's, it gets complicated. But the little things that are, kind of cute today that I told them, I said, it's kind of the little things that kind of get on your nerves. I said, they're kind of cute today. I said, but 2 years down the road, those things that you thought
Not
were cute, it's not cute anymore. It works your last nerve, And so I said,
what's one of them things about me, baby? Let's see. What's one of those things about me? Per Miss V.
I would say, remember the thing we talked about where you were like, you would stay going for like hours, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
You would stay going for hours. Even though you're busy doing things, even though you were busy, with the boys and football practice and all this kind of stuff, that you stayed gone and did not contact me to let me know, hey, we're okay. Hey, I think, we'll be leaving in a couple of hours or something, because we hadn't spoken since the night before. And I think that worked on my nerves more than anything. Was like, okay, I know what you're doing, but can you give me a holler? Just let me know, everything's okay. I might need to hear your voice. I've been hearing other men's voice all day long, and I would like to hear my husband's voice.
Yeah. And my thing was, when I'm home, you don't deal with me. So what I need
But
to be
you were
home for?
home.
Look what I need to be home for.
But you were home.
I'm not doing
In my
nothing.
face.
Let me go and handle business and talk to people.
In my face.
And I get up and be like, wait. So I say, I'm home. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. And I was happy as I wanted to be.
She's happy she wanted to be. She wasn't talking to me.
Yeah. But
She's
just
happy she wanted to be.
But just, just little things that are small and just cute and things that you ignore beforehand. Once you get married, those things they get magnified.
They get magnified.
They really do.
For sure.
They
so
really
you got
do.
you gotta really think, you gotta really, know that you like slash love this person.
Mm-hmm.
So then the person was talking about, moving in, and I was like, well, I was like, as far as so then I asked, I said, well, and it was a guy. And I said, so do you love her? Oh yeah. I said, do you want to be married? And he said, yep. Before I finished my statement, he was like, oh yeah, definitely. That definitely want to marry. I was like, okay, cool. I said, well, if that's the one you want to marry, then take us to the courthouse.
Yes.
Which gets us to our topic.
Mm-hmm.
Don't break the bank to get married. Because basically all you doing is paying for a party for people to come and eat your food and drink your drink. And then everybody goes home. And if you had a honeymoon already planned, then you'll get to go on the honeymoon and do that.
Right.
But then when you come home, you're going to sit down and you're going to think about it.
And realize.
And you're going to realize, I just spent anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 to throw a party. And I didn't even get $100,000 worth of gifts.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
so I said, well, y'all got to talk about it. I said, but I said, for me, it makes sense and since you're both living in separate places, you're talking about consolidating your efforts. I said, if you know y'all want to be married, if y'all know y'all want to be married, I said, then go to the justice of the peace, get the piece of paper. Now, in the law and in the eyes of God, y'all are one.
You're a one.
Legally, everything that y'all build is together. So now the spouse who is not as outgoing and money making can't be like, well, I was with them whenever they didn't have nothing and then they got something and they left me. Well, when y'all get married, now that's half.
Right.
That's half. So from a business standpoint, that's half.
Yeah, just the business standpoint.
Just from a business standpoint, that's half. Y'all gonna build together, together. And so that's another thing. I told him, I said, look, you go to the justice of the peace, you get married. Now y'all can move in with each other. This got a gnat in here. Y'all can move in with each other, and y'all can start building. You start saving. You start doing all that stuff, and then you can. I said you can talk to her, have her talk to her pops. See how much money he's wanting to invest. Because we're in Louisiana. It's still tradition.
Right.
The dad pays for the wedding. The groom's dad, the bride's family pays for the wedding. And the groom's family pays for the rehearsal dinner.
Yes.
Right. That's a tradition that we in down here. And so I told him, I said, check and see what her dad is willing to do. I said, y'all take that under advisement. If he say he got 5,000 on it, then y'all could try to make that thing work with $5,000.
Right.
$4,000, whatever. I said, and here's my thing. You can throw one heck of a party for $3,000 to $4,000.
Right.
You get your dress, you don't have no big old 25, groomsmen and bridesmaid. You get two to four people, 5 at the most. 5 is big. 5 is big.
Yeah.
Right. So you get your groomsmaid, your groomsmen and your bridesmaid. You come together, you stand up there, you say, okay, the party's gonna be this day. You're already married.
Right.
So you're already building.
Married,
so you got some extra money just in case for the other incidentals. So you find a building, you decorate it, you got it all done. 4,000 is all you're involved. It's catered. You can do all. Get a DJ. And now you're $4,000 in. That's it.
And no debt.
No debt. So now, if people, and then you can tell people, say, hey, y'all, I appreciate, doing a registry and everything. But if I do a registry, then people are going to get me stuff. I already got appliances, so I don't necessarily need any more appliances. But what I don't have is money. So, hey, we just ask that you bless us, give us a gift of
monetary
gifts. You can set it up digitally. You can have a little basket. They can come drop them in there. And then everybody comes, sees your little ceremony where y'all get married. They can witness it. You're already married.
Right.
But they're witnessing the union. You're doing it again for your people. And then y'all throw one hell of a party. And nobody's freaking out. You're not tripping because at some point, I don't know about you, but at some point in the middle of the wedding, I was thinking, she said she didn't want to have no big wedding.
And it became a big wedding.
And we spent all this money. And we don't have a house yet.
Yeah. That's true.
But we's mad now.
And I don't regret it.
I don't either. But the thing
I don't regret it because of the circumstances too.
Right. But what's the circumstance?
The circumstances is that I was a single parent for a long, long time. And I had never been married. I didn't get married until I was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks prior to my 36th birthday. So I wanted a wedding,
Yeah.
I just wanted
like it was
one.
a trip, y'all. It was a trip. We talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't need all that. I don't need all that. Then we get engaged and say, what we gonna do? Well, I might have to spend a little, we gonna spend a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
can't spend no more than
it wasn't
a few
crazy. It wasn't a crazy.
We ended up spending about 10, 12,000.
No, sir.
$10,000.
We did not.
Come
no,
on.
we not.
Come on.
No, we did not.
How much you spent?
We did not.
How much you spent?
The most I think was maybe 6. Maybe 6.
I kind of remember it being like 85
it was not,
to 9, somewhere around there. Which, like you say, round up. It's 10,000.
No. We didn't spend that much money, but it was
Felt
more.
like it.
It was more than we should have
Right.
spent at the time. It was not near $10,000 at all. Because first of all,
If it's over
my
five,
parents,
if it's over five, it's close to 10.
first of all, my parents had to pay for that. I promise you, it wasn't that. Nope, it was not.
But then we paid for stuff.
We did, but still, it was not. It was not.
And there we have it.
Yeah.
We're always
But,
disagreeing on details.
No, it wasn't that.
We disagreeing on details, man. But you know what? We are agreeing on is the fact that if you haven't done it yet,
Yeah.
then
yeah, courthouse route.
Consider the courthouse route.
Yeah.
Because the only difference between what we're telling you to do and what we did is we had to pay for the church. We had to pay for everything that went along with having that big old wedding in the church. And then we went to the party when we could have had the ceremony and the party in the same place. We could have had the ceremony and the party in the same place and saved a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
true.
that's the biggest thing though. You know, don't break the bank because
you have to live after. You know, and what it did was that our decision to have a wedding that size and not go to the courthouse, that delayed us getting a home.
Right.
It delayed a few things, but mainly not getting a home.
Yeah.
But it did come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it did come.
Because we got in agreement.
Yeah. We got in agreement.
We got in agreement because that's another thing that happens. Whether you believe the way we believe or not. At the end of the day, it's a universal law that whenever two are gathered and they're in agreement, there's nothing you can't have.
Nothing.
Now the way we live with through Christ centered, we believe that whenever we come into agreement, the Holy Spirit is in agreement with us. And as long as we don't doubt and we believe, we'll have it. But you ain't got to believe in God to get that. That's the same stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you believe that every time the weather changes, you're going to get sick and you get sick, then you believe to get sick. We just choose to apply our
Been there, done that.
We do that. Oh my God.
Been there, done that.
We used to have knockdowns.
Yeah, we would. He'd make me so mad. Oh man, I was diagnosed with allergies and sinuses in 1997. And it just so happened, it seemed that because of the allergies that I had, they were seasonal, which was all year long. It just wasn't spring. It just wasn't fall. It was all year. And I would say whenever we met, I would say that, man, every time, this time of the year, I always get sick. Or, around this month, every year I get sick. He told me to stop saying that. And I was like, but it's true. And so he had, he would tell me like, okay, but you can't stop saying that because what you say has power and you bring it into existence every time. So I learned that and he was absolutely right. I learned that, but I guess I was just so frustrated with it happening. And even when I, at times, even when I wouldn't say anything, it still would happen. But I believe that I needed to shift what I said, shift my thoughts and definitely not speak it out loud.
Because once you speak it,
once you speak it, you give it power. Yeah.
You give it power once you speak
that was a great lesson. So I've learned not to say that.
Well,
thank you, husband.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
I was like, because again, like I told y'all earlier, I'm always about making my life better.
Right.
And if she constantly getting sick, my life is not better.
And I was, but
it was ridiculous.
Praise God, I'm delivered from it now. I've been healed. Yes, I've been healed from it.
So the number one thing, y'all, is just don't break the bank on that party because,
there's so many other things that you can do. Like what we find that some people are doing now, they'll go to the justice of the peace, or they'll have a very, very small wedding, even if it's in a church on a off day, on a Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, that afternoon with just the immediate family, and then they will have a reception later on. Those things work. Or they decide to go to the justice of the peace, they get married, and then they plan a trip, you know, and they spend their money on that, you know, a real honeymoon.
Some people have
Yeah.
destination weddings.
Yeah, some people have destination weddings, those things, you know. So
And that's small.
Yeah.
That's something that, you know, you can kind of do together, and it's like in a package, and, you know, and you know, I mean, you know, there's many ways to do
Many
it. All we're
ways.
saying is that the days of you spending, you know, 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000, you know, unless you have it.
Exactly.
Unless you
I was
have
just
it.
gonna say that.
But I'm like,
Unless
even
you
if you
have it like
have it-
that, or your family has it like that.
Yeah, even if
You
you
know.
have it, man, get you a great photographer and videographer.
Mhm.
Spend the money on that. Again, have your little cool dress, have your little cool tuxedo, you know, have your 2 or 3 people with you, and throw a party, because literally it's about the party.
Right.
It's about your friends and your family coming to celebrate with you.
Mhm.
At least that's what I think. You know, celebrate this joyous day with me, you know?
Yeah.
And making memories, starting off making memories.
Right.
So we suggest, we recommend that you don't spend a whole bunch of money. And if you do want to spend a lot of money, focus it on something that, you know, I mean, you know, like I said, destination wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be cool. You can
Yeah.
spend a lot of money on that, because you can go to somewhere where you may not get to go after you get married.
Mhm. Yeah, for many years, especially
For
if you,
many
if you
years after
plan to
you get
have
married.
children.
For many years after you get married.
For children. So yeah, it was a great conversation, and that conversation just came out of the blue. We were not, you know, expecting to have that kind of conversation, but we felt like we could definitely speak to the situation, you know.
Yeah. Can we,
Yeah.
and now this is just me just thinking, because, you know, you see like on TV, the athletes, and like Ocho Cinco.
Mm-hmm.
Ocho is like, why would I buy real diamonds? I got them, but why would I buy real diamonds and wear them out?
Right.
To go lose them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I'm thinking, let's talk about the ring.
Let's. Yeah.
You want to go ahead?
Yeah. The one
Well, okay,
the
so
one
here-
that I
so-
lost.
Say it again.
The one that I lost.
That one.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question before you go into that.
Mhm.
Has our marriage suffered because you didn't have a ring?
No, absolutely not.
So that puts it in perspective,
It does.
right?
It does.
So now, if you spend, you know, a lot of money on a diamond
Mm-hmm.
ring, and I don't know. I mean, I don't want to come off as cheap, because I'm not cheap.
You're not.
I'm really not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's being in a relationship with my wife has caused me to be more frugal. And
Yes.
And I think about things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
Yeah.
I think about things like that. So I'm like, okay, so get a nice ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And go, because in our situation, what have you?
Yeah. I lost it. About 11 years ago, 12 years ago. And so it hasn't been replaced yet.
Oh, see that dig?
But
that was a dig.
no, it hasn't been replaced yet.
Tell the truth. It's okay. Let the
because-
people see. That was a dig.
Because I had a habit of I haven't been able to, you know, I'm just gonna say it. I could not stand having water when I wash dishes and I wash my hands. I could not stand having that water under the ring. It drove me nuts. And there was some times where I would get a little rash under it because it stayed wet. So I would take it off, and I was in the habit of doing that. And then I would walk off, leave the ring someplace, but it was always somewhere where I could go get it. Where this particular
Run back
time
across
I
it.
could run back, across it. And I would lose it in the house. I mean, you know,
all the time.
in the kitchen, you know, in the restroom or
I'm-
whatever, wherever.
I'm rolling in like
yeah,
if I'm like
yeah,
lose something.
right. And this particular time, I don't remember if I lost it here in the city or I lost it when
Oh,
we
no.
went to Baton Rouge.
No. You
Uh,
definitely lost it there
yeah.
before you finish that.
Mhm.
So just so that it doesn't seem like she's always doing stuff. So with my ring, right? I lost weight after we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And I was losing weight, but after, you know, she bought the ring, I had it, and she would always come and like see me without it, coming to the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the first time?
Yeah.
How far out were you? The parking lot.
And I didn't even wear glasses back then.
So it's after we at this festival. I just finished. I'm outside the venue. I'm putting my accordion up. This woman is talking to me, and she's walking up, and she walks up and goes, "Hey." And she walks up to me, and and marks the territory, comes and gives me some sugar, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then so she's looking at my hand, and she's looking at the woman. She's looking at my hand, and Vanessa's she's very couth.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman catches the vibe and rolls out. And it wasn't nothing going on. She was just talking to him about what happened at the show and whatnot. And so I closed my accordion case, and Vanessa goes, "Hey, babe, so I got a question for you." She's like, "Where's your ring?"
Where's your ring?
And I said, "I've been looking for it." I said, "Because I don't know where it is." And then I figured it out because I'm playing, sweating and stuff. Whenever I took my accordion off, it slipped and fell in my accordion case. Thank God. The same one that I was looking in whenever she walked up. Because the woman like, "What you doing?" I said, "I got to find my ring."
Yep.
And so I picked it up and found it, and she was like, slipped off. I said, "I swear it slipped off." I said, "But you know what? I'm going to fix that. I ain't wearing it when I play because I ain't going to be responsible for losing my ring."
Started leaving it home.
It was in my pocket. I had to take it out and put it in my pocket. So this time we're going to Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
On the way to Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Went to a birthday party first.
We stopped over in Lafayette to get a bite to eat.
At the mall.
At the mall, of all places. Where there's a million people going through that bathroom.
Yeah. So I took it off. And what's so crazy about it is that you guys maybe could relate to that. You do things so much that you don't pay attention to what you're doing because it's just automatic. So automatically, before I washed my hands, I took my ring off, laid it on the sink. I would do it here. And then wash my hands, and then I put it back on. Where then a lot of times I would wash my hands, take it off, wash my hands. And then I would just walk off, get distracted. And that happened that day. And so when I went back, when I realized I could have left it in that restroom, it was gone. So I've been without a ring.
Yeah, but you did,
Yeah.
We're going to get you good at telling these stories a little bit better.
What?
Huh?
What?
When did you realize you lost
we
you
were
left
gone.
the ring? When did you realize?
When we left, after we left.
How long after we left?
Oh, I don't know. A few hours, I don't know.
In the next city.
Like I did, yeah. Man, I try not to. I try not to think about that. I try not to think about it because it. I loved my ring, and now
it was a pretty ring.
It was a beautiful ring, and band set, and so I tried. That it happened, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I just kind of like blocked it out. So every once in a while, I'll think of, and I haven't done it because I put myself on probation. Because I said, until I learn how to leave the ring on, no matter what, I don't want nothing. He's tried a few times and said, "Hey, baby, I can get your ring. You want me to get the ring?" I'll be like, nope, not now.
So what we did was we got those rubber rings.
Yeah, rubber rings.
So she could practice.
Yeah. And then I've lost one of those, but I have them now, but they don't fit. They fall off because I lost weight. So.
But when they did fit.
Yeah, when they did fit. I made sure that I wore it. I wore it all the time at work just because I liked them, and I could match do whatever colors. It is. Match the colors and stuff. So I thought that was fun. But, I lost weight and I never
She said, "Yeah, this is fun. This is fun, but
yeah, I want my ring now.
I want my ring."
Mm-hmm. I do. Because every once in a while I think about it. When I see, women with rings, I'll be like, "Oh man, it's a pretty ring." So, but
that whole percentage of your that whole percentage of your income thing about buying the ring, that's a bigger ring now.
It is. It is.
It's a much bigger ring now.
Yeah. So, it's all good. I don't stress him out too much about that ring. Every once in a while I think about it.
Yeah,
but for the most part,
one
day it's gonna just pop up. So I'm good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm still even costume jewelry. I'm still, taking it off. I haven't broken myself out of that habit. So
I didn't say anything about that. She mentioned that freely.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because it's true. It's true.
So yeah, we would definitely fall out if we got a bigger ring and that stuff came up missing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I would just have to not take it off and just deal with whatever happens. Because I won't take it off unless I'm putting it back in its box. Yep.
Yeah, that's a trip. That's a trip. But I mean, so anyway, so that's a couple of things. So the ring and how much money you're gonna spend on the ring. Y'all got to talk about that. And ladies, be considerate of where y'all are going.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I
what
would
I'm
agree.
saying?
I would agree.
Be considerate of where you're going.
Yeah.
Now, if you think you ain't ever gonna be able to get nothing out of him again, get your ring.
Get your ring.
But I think y'all got bigger problems.
Carrot.
I think y'all got bigger problems if that's how you're feeling. If that's how you're thinking. But just be considerate about that. I want y'all to be able to maximize your beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
Maximize your beginnings. Do everything in a celebratory way, but not a way that's
taxing.
That could be potentially wasteful, or better yet, that you'll have a regret at the end. Like, man, we could have spent half of what we spent and had a great time. And then again, look, let's talk about that. Decide what your goal is.
Yeah.
What is your goal for your wedding day? What is your goal? I mean, my goal was to get married and have a party. So we had an open bar that
we did.
I bought so much liquor.
Yeah, you did.
And your cousin was in there trying to knock it. Your
uncles, not cousins.
Your uncles.
And they are both deceased.
They are, yeah. But they got their money's worth.
Baby, they passed them a good time at that bar. They stayed.
They did not move away from the bar.
That bar. They did. But we had a great time, and that's why I say for the party part of it, I don't regret anything. Yeah. I mean, we had a great time. My before picture and my after picture. The after picture tells the story of how much fun I
sweat my hair out.
I had a little afro.
That's when she had a perm.
I did, I had relaxed hair, and I literally had an afro. We danced so much. It was so much fun.
It was great.
But in the conversation today, we talked about everything, and I just brought up, you talk about the wedding, whether you want to have, big one, whether you want to go to just as a piece, whether you want to have a party, that kind of thing. You talk about children, how are the families, or the families in other people's business. You know what I'm saying? What are the relationships with the family? And I said those things are all important because, people want to say, well, no, I married them. I don't marry their family. You married their family. That is not true. You married their family. So I told the person, I said, the one thing that I can tell you for sure, as far as our families, they stay completely out of our business. And, it wasn't anything that we said we were going to, we're just not letting them in our business. No one even tried, just knowing us, and so I just brought that subject up to the person. You guys need to talk about everything. Talk about children, if you get married, how soon you want to have children, how many children do you want to have, and all of that. Just talk about it.
Yep. And back to the wedding, right? You are not going to be in relationship with all those people a few years into your relationship, a few years into your marriage.
You're not.
So think about that when talking about, I got to have 7 people I got to have all 7, 8 of these bridesmaids. Man, do you? I got to have all 20 of my boys. Do you?
You don't.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still cool with all my brides, all my groomsmen. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a thing where I could have done it without all of them and had them at the party, and they could have saved money, had a good time. But I mean, I did that because your bare minimum with 3 sisters and a best friend.
Yeah, was 4. It was 4.
Was 4.
And then plus I wanted Erica in it. So,
that's 5.
She's like a sister to me. So that was 5. So yeah.
So she had 5. You had 5, right?
6.
Yeah, 6.
Joyce. Remember, I needed another person for your guy. For either Don or one of your dudes.
Okay.
And that's why Joyce was in
that's
it.
Right.
But
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there you go. So, everybody that we had, we broke it down to 6.
Mhm.
6 was, but for a church wedding, that seems to be small.
That's small.
But which is amazing to say 6 is small
Yeah,
because that's 12
that's
people
small,
plus
yeah.
that's 14 people total.
Mhm, mhm.
And if you got the little mini people, that's 16 people.
Mhm.
That's wild.
But still small these days.
Whew, but anyway, so think about that. Try to make it as streamlined as you can. Save the money because you're going to need that money.
Mhm.
And even if you don't need the money, you're going to want that money when you think about what you got or what you spent.
You're right.
I mean, that's just it. So we'll talk about some of those other things later, like your friends and
Mhm.
and get how much you let people in your business. The short of that is don't. Unless it's somebody that has experience in that area.
Right.
And we'll close this one out by saying we're gonna do an episode that talks about, well, anyway. So until next time, I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
And you've been listening to Better Marriage Daily, where we give you tips on how to love each other in spite of each other and have a great and successful marriage from now until the end of time. All right, y'all, we'll holler.